Have you ever lost a live arena match before you even blinked? I'm talking about these bomb squads, double speed boost, bombs everywhere, instant detonation, just team wipe, right? Quick update, we're currently 208 wins and 37 losses this live arena season, and today I'm going to show you how to completely neutralize bomb teams by building tanky supports the right way. To the point that if you see a bomb squad, you can just actually laugh at their face, right? And no, you don't need OP champions like Marichka. Before I explain the build, let me just show you a couple of live arena battles, because I think that's really gonna show, even if the bomb teams do everything right, they're still gonna lose, right? And this is why. So let's get into the fights here. So for this first match, I'm seeing a very fast speed team, and just a lot of annoying champions, right? And you guys know I have trouble with both Armands and Fabian if they picked, and they have like a super fast Lamasu. They got the Commodus 6-star, right? Most Commodus players, most good bomb players, what they'll do is they'll pick their bomb champion, they'll pick their speed, and then they'll actually pick two nukers. And the reason why is because bombs, they're very one-dimensional. If the bombs go off, you're great. Like you just wipe their team, right? But if you get countered, if the bombs don't go off for whatever reason, you need a secondary damage dealer to kind of like clean up the fight. And if that damage dealer gets banned, bomb is kind of like stranded here. So here, of course, I've got the CV and the Necrit. The CV is kind of neutralized here already because they are clearly going to be faster than me. And if he bans my Necrit, which I'm expecting him to ban the Necrit, he's running the bomb squad. I'm banning his Empress so that he only has the bombs. I specifically picked this champion here, which you don't see me pick often, but for today's video, I busted it out because this strategy 100% works, and that's my tanky Noelle, right? So this is my specific counter to bombs. So here I ban his Empress, he banned my Necrit as expected. I picked the resistant aura, just gives me, like, I know that I'm not going to be faster than this team. So I went with the resistance aura, and yep, we'll see how this match plays out. So for him, I think one of the key things, obviously, he's going to go first. He's got Lamasu, he's got a 6-star intimidating presence. Lamasu has that boost, right? He's got to select the target. And I think the best target is just to go for the Commodus, and then do the... But notice here, this is my regular build, so CV has nothing. Both of these nukers, well, actually, only Marius has Stone Skin. And the Noelle has Stone Skin, but look at here. I've got a Pharaoh set on, right? And that's very key. So you'll see the player is thinking, he boosts the Commodus, which is what you do 99% of the time, triggers my counterattack. The champions that don't have Stone Skin dice. My Marius is very strong when it comes to counterattacks. So he's going to do the bomb. And bombs, especially Commodus, his bombs instantly detonate, right? Like, it's so OP. But yeah, it should wipe out 3 champions. Here, my CV just a tiny bit tanky, so it didn't die there, but got stunned. And then over here, what's happening? The bombs didn't go here because I had block debuffs, right? And this is a resistance build. So the Armans tries to sheep her? No. Most of the Armans we see in like live arena, they could be around like Fabians, Armans, these really fast debuff champions. They're probably like around 400 speed and around 700 accuracy, like give or take. And if you build your champion to specifically counter that, they're never going to be able to debuff you, sheep you, or whatever, right? The mythicals with the ignore resistance, they might, but that's why you have the Pharaoh set, right? So he does that, does nothing. I turn these back. Now, I think that's a 3%. I don't think this is a resistance build Armans, so I'm a little bit unlucky here. Here, of course, he's got that stack, right, from the Lamasu. So he's not going to be frozen. But here, he should have been frozen. We got unlucky here. And now, because he doesn't have the bomb skill anymore, he's just a sitting duck. Like, he's A1, you'll see, like, how much damage does it do? 12k. Like, so I got unlucky here, didn't freeze him. He got unlucky by doing that and triggered my sheep, right? Always place your polymorph champion early in the team order. Protect it, right? Protected my Ilil. I think Marius is higher in team order than Sifi. So now Ilil just killed the Commodus, and this game is over, right? He's got nothing left. I still have 4 champions. Opponent leaves. Yeah. So example number 1 of and then example number 2, right? Here I've got triple counters. I mean, I could have picked my Cavalax. This is clearly a speed team, but I wanted to show that even if you go second against bomb teams, like picking the tanky support built in a specific way can be hard counters for them. So I think I picked Noelle here as well, right? I picked Noelle. I banned the lockout, and here I have 3 counters. Well, he might not know that the Crixia is a resistance build. He for sure knows that Marichka is passive counters, and he might not know how the Noelle is built, right? So most players will just ban the Marichka here with the bomb teams. So just, yeah, so I'm hovering. This is a counter. He's going to ban the Marichka for sure. And then we still have, like, I did the triple count. I don't need triple counters to bombs. I only need 2 out of the 3. But this is a bit of an overkill. Come on, ban the Marichka, please. Yeah, bans the Marichka. I picked the resistance aura. Like, against bomb teams, whatever resistance you can get, take it. Because you're not going to go be faster than them. Why take the speed aura, right? Does nothing. So take the resistance aura. It's just better. And then over here, of course, he's going to be faster. Gonna do the double boost, as most bomb teams do. Boost 1. Okay. What are we thinking? Okay. Boost 2. Okay. He's trying to be smart here because he realized that there is a block debuffs. So he's trying to save the rat skill, use this one to detonate and kill everybody, and then when I come back to revive, the rat can like do his bombs again. We'll see why that's not such a great idea, but here we go. So he's gonna do the bombs. Resistance build Crexia, right? Doesn't land on the Crexia. Of course, not gonna land here because of block debuffs. So I just go here and I do the cleanse, right? Even if I didn't have the Crexia here, the Noelle is speed tuned to go before the nukers. I can use Noelle's cleanse skill actually to cleanse one of them. And either one of them, if I say cleanse the Marius and I do the triple smack, that's a team wipe, right? If I cleanse the Amberus, I do the form 2, I do the smack, this team wipe too, right? It's game over either way. And in this case, I didn't even have to use Noelle because Crexia resistance, Crexia did its job. And then, yeah, so we just drew our nukes. And I think that's a team wipe. Yeah, and the opponent knows this too. So back to what we're talking about, which is the actual build, right? The actual build is laid out this way. First, I want to go over the stats. So for a tanky support, of course, you want to be tanky. And to be tanky, you're looking at 2 stats, HP and defense, right? These two added together gives effective HP. Between the two, lean more heavily towards the HP stat. I think around 4k defense is a good healthy point of defense. And then after that, just put as much HP as possible, right? My Noelle is a little bit on the lower end for HP. Like usually you want to be like 120k for a tanky champion. However, the reason the HP is a little bit lower is because we're trying to find as much resistance as possible, and we're gonna see that. Attack doesn't matter. Speed, just make sure it's faster than your nuker, but doesn't have to be too fast. Like, you're not trying to find the fast resistance build. Doesn't really work that well anyways. So just 275 for me, it works fine. Crits don't matter. Resistance, this is the most important stat for a tanky support build. You want this as high as possible, right? I think we talked about how like most of the fast debuffers where I compete is gonna be like 400 speed ish and gonna have like 700, 750 accuracy. This is enough to resist those, right? It might not be enough against mythicals, but against like her Armands or Fabian, I think this is plenty. And then Noelle is one of the harder champions to build because she actually also needs accuracy. She's got that freeze on the A3, and then the A1 does the block debuffs. So you actually have to squeeze out some accuracy on her as well. I did like 370 accuracy, which is quite hard. If you're choosing a champion like Ankora or Pythion, then you don't need any accuracy, right? You can just stack more resistance, more tanky stats. If you're using like a Hilvi for this role, you do need some accuracy as well because Hilvi also needs the freeze and the strip. In terms of sets, 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece Feral, right? Doesn't have to be Feral. Any set that gives the block debuffs buff. So I think there's the Untouchable, there's the Immunity, and there's also the Feral. So yeah, 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece. The Feral just gives more things, right? Accuracy and speed is just the best. So that's the gear set. In terms of relics, Hand of Uncreation is very underrated. It gives accuracy main stat, which we need, resistance substat like a secondary, which we need, and then also it reduces the chance of applying debuffs, dealing or removing buffs, dealing turn meter, or increasing skills cooldown against the wearer by 10%, which when we leveled it up goes to 16%. This is pretty huge. And then also in terms of the gems, you want gems that also increase your resistance when you're looking to resist their lockout, increase your resistance when they're trying to debuff you, sheep you, stun, freeze, right? Hard CC. And then here, this gemstone also gives you accuracy when you're trying to freeze. So this kind of setup is fantastic. In terms of the blessing, now, if we're quite confident with our resistance level, like here, 950, I think against most Armands, Fabians that you see is enough. In that case, I go with the temporal chains, right? Remember, when you're doing resistance build, do not choose polymorph because they actually have to put the debuff on you in order for you to sheep them. And if you're so high resistance, they're never going to debuff you and you're never going to proc this sheep. So do not choose polymorph. Other choices, if we're a little bit not so confident with our resistance levels, lightning cage is great. It protects your feral like buff. It protects your stone skin, right? Lightning gauge is fantastic. If your team is missing intimidating presence, you can use that. I think life harvest is also good, and yeah, like the choice I have here, temporal chains is also good. In terms of masteries, pick up everything that gives resistance, right? Resistance, unshakable here, and then do like more damage reduction here. Pick up all the things that gives accuracy, right? And then this one is great when your allies are dead, gives more speed. So yeah, that's the build for Lady Noelle. I think we can just jump into today's live arena sessions now. And we can just see more examples. I think there's more. And specifically, like, right, like we talked about, like, bomb teams aren't actually that scary. Like, with the correct setup, it can be like an auto loss to free wins. And I talk about like these champions, Pythion, Noelle, Ankora, Hilvi, like they're free to play friendly. Tanky supports one more time with the right build can become bomb team counters. Um, and Let's see today's matches. I think there are some more examples of that. Not this one. This one I think typical Sifi Rodos. Very very hard to deal with, right? Rodos is a champion that could just take 5 turns in a row and just 1v4. So you gotta be always be mindful of that. So let's take a look. They go first. I cut in, right? And the reason I cut in with Quail and Farce is because they have a Stone Skin and a Word of the Fallen. Now, usually the Arbias pick puts the increased attack and increased accuracy. That's 8 buffs. That's not enough. My Quail and Farce needs 10. But because he has the initial Stone Skin and the initial Word of the Fallen, both of those count as buffs, by the way. So that 2 plus 8 equals 10. So it gives my Queen of Hearts a chance to cut in before Sifi even takes a turn. Which is why Queen of Hearts counters are biased, counters Marius, counters Sifi. Because a lot of times you're gonna get initial buffs, whether it is Stone Skin, Word of the Fallen, even Lightning Cage, all of those count as buffs. So with Marius boosting, that gives 8. Arbias boosting, that gives 8. So you just need 2 more. So Queen of Hearts is great versus these buff heavy champions. So here I do the strip and I go for the ally attack, right? We block revive the Rolos. And here when I do the strip, Queen of Hearts also puts True Fear on everybody. You always want to look for champion synergies. Why do we see a lot of people pick Fabian and Embrace together? Not only because they're free-to-play champions and they're like just so popular and OP, but also Embrace can put up True Fear, and Fabian benefits greatly from True Fear, right? Fabian, you want to open with A3, so he doesn't get to put up the fears by himself. Like rarely would you ever get a A3 into A2 combo because of these protected buffs, right? There's always like a lightning cage somewhere, or like ward, or like 9-piece protection, or like just random Niemhi, or like just stone skins, right? So he never gets to put up his own fears. So if you can have another champion put out fears for him, is a great synergy. And this team, both Queen of Hearts and Empress can put out fears, and you'll see why that's great. So yeah, once again, I do the ally attack. I put a fears on everybody. It triggered counterattack for these champions, right? 1 counterattack, 2 counterattack. Now this is where Fabian starts to do his thing. This is like a damaged Fabian. Boom. We do the petrification. We knock out Marius. Boom. Petrification. We knock out Arbias. Game over, right? It's fantastic when things work out. So yeah, look for champion synergies. Fabian is great with champions that can put out fear. Just keep that in mind. So that was a pretty funny match. Over here, we've got Noelle. This champion, you almost, I don't even know his name. But I think Plarium released this champion just specifically to saying, okay, Armans is way too OP. We need to release this champion. And he counters Armans straight up. If you ever use Armans A2, this champion is going to get super boosted. But here's the thing. Like, what if you don't use Armans A2? What if you use A3? Which is why a lot of people build this champion in like pinpoint. And then now you have an extra choice of building him in Mercurial. So we'll see if this player is smart enough to do that. But because I picked both Fabian and Armans, I took out his fastest champion. Like, you can always tell which one is the fastest, right? It's not going to be the Noelle. It's going to be the Shujin, because Shujin does the boost. And I'm not a fan of triple nukers, so of course, I'm gonna ban one of the supports. So here, did he have pinpoint? He did not. So this champion absolutely does not counter Armans. Only a noob Armans who has never played against this champion before will go for the A2. A good Armans, like if you're ever against this champion, you just sheep him. There's nothing he can do. His kit doesn't counter sheep. So you need to build this champion in pinpoint or mercurial. And then if Armans does A2, you counter him, you instantly take a turn and nuke. If he does A3, he can't target you because you're protected. So this champion, this player didn't know the matchup very well, and this champion actually does not counter Armans. It just doesn't. But I don't even go for the sheep there. I don't think this champion hits very hard, even if you. I think Marius is a bigger threat, so I sheep the horse. Over here, I boost. I A3 first, get an extra turn, just kill that champion. Very squishy too, so not a fan of that champion. And then I do the A1, try to fish for extra turn. I don't get it, it's fine. Here, I think I just go for the guaranteed strip stone skin, right? I notice there's no lightning cage here. If you're running 2-turn stone skin on Noelle, like I think it's mandatory you have a lightning cage, but didn't. So we go for the guaranteed strip, and then we do the A2 now because that champion is dead. We are free to do Armand's things, right? On Armand's. And at this point, yeah, I have my 3rd turn now. I do the nuke. Everybody's locked out. I even sheep him just for good measure. Transform, nuke, ally attack, counter attack. Oh, okay, they left. Right, the match is over. Oh, guys, do the if it's void on Iron Twins, do the double, like spend the gems. It's so worth it because sometimes you get things like this. Like, are you kidding me? This is so good. So on void, Iron Twin days, spend the gems, use the extra fortress keys, just sub PSA. Always do that. It is absolutely worth it. Okay, absolutely worth it. I think that was just a quick thing about that. Over here, okay, Sifi Rodos, and then what else do we have? Duchess, Empress. Empress has a really hard time against Odin. This matchup is terrible for Empress because Empress can't help it. He has to take a whole bunch of extra turns, and that procs Odin's thing, right? And Odin's block damage, Empress doesn't have any skill that goes through block damage. So right now I'm hovering the Sifi, who has a 6-star polymorph, very scary, and it boosts Rotos, right? Makes Rotos like basically immune to CC. So I'm, yeah, easy choice. We ban the Sifi here. When against a champion pair, usually 90% of the chance it's best to ban the support of not the nuker, definitely not a nuker. Most of the time it's the support. So here I decided to go for the Odin boost, but because I think my Fabian is gonna be faster even without the speed boost. It's just against Lady Mikage, right? So yeah, we go first. I do that. I do A3 here. I think Duchess resists the lockout, which is why I went for the damage to take out the Duchess because I don't want her to revive. It might have been a mistake because we'll see here. I'm looking at what mastery is again. Here I don't want to AoE because it will trigger the Rotos. I want to do this, right? If I can, CC him, that would be best. But I got a weak hit, 35% chance it happens. And now Rotos should be locked, right? I was not paying attention. Oh, he locked, but he does A1. I think 25% chance. Got an extra turn. So now he can do A2. A2? Yeah, A2 killed the thing. I do the stun skill and an A1, right? It actually triggered his Resurgent Mastery. Really unlucky because he should have taken an extra turn, but because he was stunned, he should just not, like, it would be 0 turn meter and no, like, he's not gonna attack. But because my attack triggered his Resurgent Mastery, it removed the stun, and now he's getting an extra turn, and his skill is coming back up, right? I have block damage, but it's not gonna do anything because he's got 8-3. He goes for the Necrit Protect. Like, Rotos does so much damage. It's block damage, right? I actually would have gone for the Odin, just because I don't think that one was protected, right, with the block damage. This one is. So yeah, so this skill is wasted. I think if you went with the Odin and then for the Rotos, for the Aileo, it would have been better. Here I go for a protection, A1, and I go for another A1. I guess I should have tried it for the A3 just to get him low, but that's a mistake on my part. He takes another extra turn, he does that, and he does the A2, right, against Necrit. Now, crucially, Necrit has Volcardiac Heart. You can see this shield icon here. So when he does damage, it's going to hit the shield, the Magma Shield. The shield is going to reflect damage back. And then the Word of the Fallen Skeletons actually hits the shield again, which reflects more damage back, and one shot has Rotos. I think I for sure should have lost this match, but look at what happened. Like, Volcardiac Shield against low HP pool champions is so OP. Like a high HP pool champion with Volcardiac Shield, Rotos did his thing, did the skeletons, and he just one-shot himself. I don't think I should have won that match. I think this is the rematch. The first match, it was very one-sided, so I didn't record that. But this is a rematch against this player. So we go in. I think I'm trying to, like, the first match was so one-sided that I decided to opt for a speed race. But his Armans is a +4. My Fabian is not fast enough. It's just not, right? Against a +4 Armans. He triggered Polymorph here, and then which triggered his wand. So my CV turned into a sheep. But because he's tried to steal a turn meter, trigger Marichka's counterattack, killed him, right? So not the best start for me, but not the worst. Here, trigger counterattack again because Mythical Transform. AoE, just Marius left against the world, right? Okay, here, I cannot do the A3, even though I really want to, give myself increased defense, I cannot, because Embrace is already in second form. If I do that, when I do the smack, I'm going to kill the Embrace, and he's going to reflect damage, I'm going to kill myself. So I have to go for the A3 right away. And crucially, I have already used the Soul Reap here on the Armans. So I need the first hit to trigger the Galathyr passive, so he does the HP balance. If the second or third hit triggers it, Galathyr is not going to die. So I need the first hit to trigger. So I go for the first hit, did not. Second hit triggered the HP balance, and then third hit, not enough to 100-0 him, right? If the first hit triggered HP balance, I've won it here. Just a little bit short because we couldn't put the increased defense because we really can't. So really unlucky here. Now he's going to revive everybody, and they revive with more turn meter than me, right? So now it's just sad times. So that's why we lose this match. Just a little bit short. And then, again, look at this, like the amount we're getting from Iron Twins. Just so worth it. Always go for the gem refill on Fortress Case when it's void. It's just so worth it. Absolutely. Against this match, okay, tables have turned. Calvalax is on the other team, and I know my own stuff, right? If he bans the Necrit, which I'm expecting him to ban because I would ban the Necrit, then these champions are not really protected, and the Calvalax value is going to be huge. So I have to ban the Calvalax. I respect it, I think, and I ban the Calvalax. Yeah, and I think, yeah, he bans the Necrit. So correct, right? Correct bans from both sides. So over here, I'm just hoping he does the boost on Sifi, which will boost my supersonic, right? And I'll cut it. So Sifi goes first. She's looking, she does the boost, which boosts my supersonic. So I cut it in here. I sheep. This one here actually has pinpoint, so I want to sheep the Marius. I can't. So I go for the other sheep, and it removes everybody's buff, right? And I get a little bit cheeky here because I noticed that it's not like a 9-piece protection. It didn't give protected block debuffs on everybody. Usually it is, but not in this case. And right now, like, the obvious choice is just go for A3 lockout, right? It's super safe. But I'm thinking I'm greedy and I want to save my Ailil. My Ailil is not currently protected. If my Embrace goes and I transform, the Marius is going to counterattack and it's going to kill my Ailil. I'm thinking, what if I petrify the Marius, and then you'll fear the Wukong. But against Sifi, there's always a chance, right? 50-50 Sifi gets to like cleanse, which she does. Unlucky here. And because I didn't do the lockout, Wukong has all the skills. And then, so I think he goes for a nuke here, gets rid of everybody, and gets an extra turn. I think that's maybe like a 9-piece Merciless build, maybe. Gets an extra turn, 15% chance. And then does the strip and steals my Stone Skin. Like, just so unlucky here. And then Sifi goes before my Empress too, and sleeps the Empress. Right at this point, it's game over. Right, it's just a whole bunch of percentages that we didn't hit, so we lose that fight. Over here, we know against Knights you need to have 2 counters, and I have 0. I don't have Marius and I don't have Chicken, so I must ban the Knights. If I don't ban the Knights, I will lose, like just straight up, because I can't deal with him. So I must ban the Knights, and he's got these champions against these champions, right? Think maybe still ban the Necrit for him. Are we confident about the speed and the tune? No, he bans the Ailil. Okay. So I still have the Necrit protection there. Now, of course, the Podrick is going to go first. But Podrick puts up a lot of buffs on everybody just passively. So that's going to boost my Supersonic. Yeah. Increase accuracy here, increase defense here, increase accuracy, and then, yeah, turn meter boost, right? Supersonic proc. So he's going to boost, and then this champion is going to do the Stone Skin. I cut in. I do the strip. I do a steal. There's the Ankora. So Marius, when the debuff goes, like hard CC goes on Marius, it's going to get transferred over to Ankora. So Marius can't be CC'd. So he's okay. But, you know, polymorph, right? Ton of polymorph here, gets sheeped. And then I go for the Hail Mary here. Usually, Theo, the mythical champion, is high resistance build. But my Armon is actually pretty high accuracy. So I try it, turn them into another sheep, right? I think at this point it's just sheep farms with Project. He knows it, so he left. Yeah. Over here I'm seeing a lot of red. a lot of red. So I'm thinking, am I bringing Chicken and leave the Knights in, or am I banning the Knights, who is a 6-star blessing, right? So this player obviously focus on the Knights, and this is the key unit. And then, so then I don't have to pick the Chicken. Over here, I'm thinking what to do, and I decided to not pick the chicken and ban the knights. Sometimes it's just like that. I look at how threatening are the rest of the champions. Can I deal with them? And if I could, then it's best to ban the most threatening. Even though we could deal with knights if I pick the chicken, like it's such a hard champion. Like if and we don't know what relic he has, so it's best to just ban him. Um, so over here, we get our combo. Yeah, and we go first, right? We take out the Armand's highest threat boost, and here, this champion Lady Mikage hates Marius, right? If you ever transform, you're gonna get counterattack every turn. Then after that, she's gonna do like a little turn meter decrease. You're gonna get counterattacked. So like this champion just absolutely hates Marius. Um, I think there's not a lot of good choices here. She really wants to transform and do a strip, but maybe yeah, ally attack like stones in here, stones in here, stones. Ally attack into the CV. What does the player do? If you transform, this counter attack is gonna hurt. And yeah, 125k plus 19k, 100 to 0 the carnage, right? The counter attack from Marius is very, very strong. So now it's gonna do the strip. Didn't strip the stone skin. So here the Empress is thinking what to do. I'm gonna transform and take another counterattack. Nope. Okay. I think I was trying to figure out what is this because he's got block damage here. I think there is a new mythical relic from Grim Forest that does this. With like a percentage chance. I think Empress actually got this a couple times in this fight. But yeah, doesn't save him against Marius because I've got decreased buff duration on the skill. But that's a cool relic, right? That mythical relic. Um, it could potentially turn the tides of the fight, just not against Marius. For here, looking at Embrace, Fabian, Dio, Predator. Predator generally not a huge threat. Um, you know, unless he just gets so many dodges in a row and become like godlike. But generally speaking, not the most threatening. I go for the Fabian ban against something like this where there's so many revives. If you can fit in like a life harvest, a high blessing life harvest in the team, is huge, right? Obviously, if you can fit in like a block revive, that's the best. Like if you can fit in an Embrace against like Marichka, all these revive champions is fantastic. But if you can't, try to fit in a life harvest on your team. I don't have it, but we can count how many times they revive in this fight against like revive champion, revive. I do the strip. I only get one, so but they got lightning cage all around, right? So expected, I think. So here I just do the smack. The Stormcaller does massive work here, right? Irresistible stuns. Okay, but everybody's full HP again. Marichka. So Embrace turns and does a nuke. Actually takes out the Odin with all that shield and the increased defense. So really, really strong Embrace, but it's okay. I think I go for ally attack here. I take down the Embrace and I revive, right? Okay. Here I boost. A1 actually did too much damage and kill myself. Not to worry because we can do our second revive. Odin is another reviver, right? Here I'm trying to sleep him. We do. There, I don't want to go too fast. I'm hoping the Marichka survives here. Because if they both die, everyone's gonna come back, and my turn meter is not at the best location, right? So I go for the A1. Again, uh, problems with doing too much damage. Like they both die, so now they all revive, and it's bad for me, right? They're all about to take their turn. So I protect my Marius, and over here I'm thinking if I can sleep this deal. I'm thinking a boost, but I'm thinking if I can sleep this deal, then the Marichka doesn't come back, and it's like a pain in the butt, right? Um, so I think I go for the A1 on Theo, but Theo has won a submission and reflected back, so unlucky. And here our skill is not back on cooldown yet, so this is really bad now. Um, so Embrace, everyone has block damage. His only target is Odin here. He does a HP swap, and that doesn't do enough on the A1 because it's only single hit, right? Nobody died. If there's another person dead, like that will be double hit, it will be block revive. Now, revive with unkillable, right? And Predator, I think, has the skill. Um, yeah, the block revive skill. So now I'm thinking, what do I do? I boost, and I still have this skill. Marius decreased buff duration, so actually it could help against these unkillables here. The decreased buff duration doesn't care about lightning cage. It bypasses that because it's not a strip. Um, lightning cage only protects against buff steel and strips, right? So this skill actually will bypass that, and then only resistance here will matter. So Marichka resist built, she resisted. Everybody else got the duration decrease and died to that, right? So now she's got 2 turn unkillable. I want to make sure all my skills are perfectly in sync. Things are ready. So when we kill the Marichka again, and everybody comes back, then we can take them out all at once, right? And the most ideal way to do that is either have Necrit protect the Marius, and then ally attack the Marichka when Marius is at almost full turn meter. And then when everyone comes back, then Marius can kill them. Or have Marius kill the Marichka, and then Necrit is almost at full turn meter. Then you ally attack everybody and kill them that way, right? So here I'm hoping that I guess I'm looking at my own turn meter. I'm hoping I don't kill the Marichka. I wish I could use the revive skill, but Odin is block revive, right? So can't use it. So I'm hoping I don't do enough damage. I don't. It's not a crit. Fantastic. And here Marius is almost at full, so I want to kill the Marichka now. I go for the ally attack, I think. Yeah, I want to make sure I do that. Necri actually did it by himself with his A1 here. So everyone's back, but my Marius is above 75% turn meter. And I have a boost. So now it's looking really good. I do that. I do that. He does a dodge, but it's okay because now it's just one champion, right? I, for safe measures, protect the Marius again, and deathmatch. So against this team, there were so many revives. If I could have fit in a block revive or a life harvest, it would be so much easier, right? Every time we destroyed their max HP. But I didn't. Yeah, and I picked Odin, which counters Embrace. But yeah, if I can have a... And I don't know if I could fit in a life harvest in this team. But if you could, it's fantastic versus just block revives. Narcisse, Ankora, huge counters to shield, right? This is a hard counter versus Necrit. So props to him for picking the counter. I'll just see how this team works out. Now their weakness is lockout. And if they're locked out, then Ankora A1 has a 50% chance to reduce the cooldown of Narcis's skills. So he has to hit the 50-50. But at the beginning, I'm a little overconfident. Ankoras are usually very, very tanky, right? And a lot of them have Seroth. I was a little overconfident. I'm thinking maybe I can one-shot the Ankora. Didn't do enough, right? It first had to hit the shield because Ailil's A2 doesn't ignore shield. Just 90k, 97k, not enough. It's a tanky Ankora. And I think the Helm Smasher didn't proc, but it's whatever. We do the lockout. Everybody has increased cooldown. Of course, Ankora doesn't because resistance build. Here we sheep the highest threat, I think. Oh no, I forgot it's me. I'm greedy. I go for the turn meter steal, and of course I get wanted back, right? Um, yeah, very very greedy player. Okay, now I go for the sheep, and I get wanted again. Want doesn't have a cooldown, unlike polymorph. Is crazy overpowered. If you have a wand of submission, or if you have multiple wands of submission, and you just keep taking debuffs, you can reflect every single turn. Like there's no cooldown. It's crazy. So it's not looking good because we were greedy earlier. We got the thing, and then we also got reflected, right? And he did that. He transformed and permanently killed our Fabian because we don't have any revivers. Here I do the A3, trying to kill the Carnage. Not enough damage. Here Ankora does a revive. I mean, I wouldn't have done this. I might have saved it because what is this champion gonna do? Doesn't do a whole lot. Narcissus there. A1, yes, killed the Armans, but you had to think about why. Why are we killing the Armans? Because like these two both have AoEs. They're like this one has all the skill cooldown back, right? Carnage is gonna go. Marius is full AoE. Like you cannot be wasting your A1, even if it's A1 on a target that's already dead. Like both of these champions are gonna take their turn. What you should be doing on Narcissus right now is to hit the Ailil because Narcissus ignores shields, and Ailil will actually take damage on his true health. Like the shield won't change at all, but his true health will go down, and that could be important in the fight later. So I think that's a misplay here. Narcissus should have hit Ailil because Armand was already dead. So here, nothing happens. I go for the highest threat to me right now, which is the Ankora, because Ankora has the ability to reset Narcissus' skill, right? If Narcissus get his skills back, Ailil is instantly dead. Like he ignores strengthen, he ignores shield. Yeah, Ailil is just instantly dead. Even if he gets the other skill, like if there's a lot of buffs on the champion, instantly dead, right? So the highest threat right now is Ankora. Why is it not Narcissus? Narcissus can't take damage from ally attack. It will be 0 damage. And also, Narcissus was locked, right? He just used A1. So there is one more turn where he has to use A1 before his skills comes back. So I ally attack the Ankora. Not enough. Tiny bit. Ideally, I want to do the protection here. Refresh his things, shield, strengthen, and stuff to Ailil, but I really want Ankora dead. So here I'm just hoping the A1 does enough. And I think that's so important in this match that A1 the Ankora here and took her down. Here has the skills. I think just go for another AoE, knock them down a little bit. And I don't have anything available yet. I have the A1. Now, of these, Narcissus still has one more A1 to go. I'm counting. This one's turn meter is low, so I think I go for the Marius kill here. Yeah. Narcissus has one more A1 from the lockout. Now, imagine the A1 earlier, he hit Ailil. And then look at the damage here. He hits the Ailil again with the A1. Ailil is dead. I lost the match. But he hit the Armans. Guys, target selection is key in live arena. You gotta think. You gotta think about the turn meter. You gotta think about other champions, right? So, yeah. And then Carnage doesn't do enough damage. A2 usually wouldn't have killed the Narcissus here. Is an HP based champion, has this much HP. But A2 guarantees to turn the strengthen into weaken and increase defense into decrease defense, right? So I think that's what made a difference, because look at what's happening here. Yeah, it I think just did enough. 105k. I think I should have lost this match. Another example of bomb teams, and I picked Noelle again, just because, right? Against bomb teams, actually pretty important to ban the increased accuracy champion if you're like using resistance champions, because any champion that does increased accuracy can just turbo boost the bombers, right? So over here, everybody is in Stone Skin, so that's why he's not afraid of the Calvalax. Plus, he's got Galathier, so I don't think banning Calvalax does anything. So here, he boosts. Galathier goes for the Hail Mary, right? Try to strips everybody except Noelle, who resisted. And plus, if she didn't resist, I still have the lightning cage. So now he's got 2 bombers. And my Noelle has Stone Skin and block debuffs, right? So he goes for that. I would have probably saved that bombs, but he goes for the detonation. Now I just bring everybody back, right? Galathier does the stun. His Wand of Submission. And then now this champion doesn't have the bomb skill. Like if he saved that bombs, just use the rat to bomb the first round, and then this one to bomb the second round. That could have been pretty good, but missed opportunity there. And now I just swap, HP swap, and nuke, right? And it's game over. Yeah. So sometimes with bombs, you want to hold your bombs and not just blindly use them when they come up available. Here, against a pretty good clan here, recognize that tag. So I'm against Taurus Marichka, and most of the time you want to ban the Marichka. But here, I think I'm thinking I try to get cheeky here, because original counter to Taurus Marichka, you just bring a UDK. UDK in reaction and Stone Skin, every time you hit the Marichka Taurus counterattacks, it's gonna hit the UDK who's in Stone Skin. So I think I actually banned the I banned the Fabian here. Everybody's in Stone Skin, so I'm not scared of this Hegemon, even though he's got that crackling roots, which is supposed to help with hitting through Stone Skin, but I haven't met super strong Hegemons that like just one shot you through the Stone Skin. Only on really weak champions, which I don't have, right? If it's like a Georgette, and then against this, he might be able to kill the Stone Skin and kill the Georgette through that, but not these champions, I don't think. So I go for the increased defense just to give myself more mitigation. Afterwards, I think I realized I have 2 UDKs. I picked the wrong one. This one has the lower blessing, has the worse gear, but it's whatever. It's still like 2 turn Stone Skin. So we'll see how much damage this does. Crackling Roots, about half, a little over half, right? And then against UDK, who's super tanky, of course, just a tiny bit. So yeah, I don't think that was the play there. And then we do the lockout. Usually this is terrible because the Taros will counterattack, but because I have UDK, the counterattack gets redirected to UDK. And yeah, it even hits reaction, right? So now they're all locked out. There's no AoEs. She will do the drag in Taras. And then Predator's A1 is single target, so absorbed by UDK as well. Yeah, UDK is great. It's great. The comeback of UDK. And I even got a counter attack, right? I think he has a 6-star temporal chain. So when I buffed, they try to decrease my turn meter. Of course, you can't decrease Mary's turn meter. And every time someone tries, he counterattacks. So this is what happened there. Go for a triple hit. Here, she's got like a swift parry Marichka, I'm guessing. You actually want this to be dead as soon as possible, but now I can set up myself, right? I can like reset my skills. And now Marichka comes back. She's gonna try to increase her HP. Yeah, that's smart. You don't want it to be too low. And I'm looking at my skills here. I know I just reset my skills, so Embrace has the AoE. So I'm free to kill the Marichka here because this is above 75%. So I go for the kill. Everybody comes back, but I should still go before. Yeah, I go before them. And Embrace does the AoE. Boom. So sometimes against Taras Marichka, you just pick a UDK and you're fine. But most of the time, most of the time, just ban the Marichka. Right. Yeah. And if your full team is in Stone Skin, you're not scared of Hegemon. Yeah. I think it's back-to-back Taras Marichka fights, is it? Let's increase the speed here. This player is taking a long time. Okay. And this is why it's taking a long time. I picked double lockout. Taras does not like lockout. Neither does Carnage. Both of these champions hate lockout, right? And at this point, I would have changed strategy. Do we not have other champions? Why are we still picking them? If you see double lockouts. I picked 2 lockouts just to counter these 3, and he gave me more things to counter, right? And of course, at the end, I see a CV with 6-star intimidating presence. That tells me it's a fast CV. I banned the Marichka. I was going to ban the Marichka anyways, but I banned the Marichka, which is a counter to Cavalax, and I picked the Cavalax. So now the player should know I'm banning the Marichka. You need to ban the Cavalax because you're speed champions. They're going to die. But for whatever reason, he might think that I'm not banning the Marichka, which is the chance of that is 0. Like, why would I not ban the Marichka? Right? So he leaves the Cavalax in, thinking he can get the Marichka. He's not. And now I have the poisons on his champions. And his Taras is not built in Stone Skin either. So I take out 2. If I just take out a CV, like, I'm happy. But I take out 2. Here is really tough choice for Armans, right? Because against the Crexia, you potentially get wounded. It could be a resistance build Crexia. Not the best choice. Embrace almost always have a wand. So the really best choice here is to sheep the Marius. This player doesn't know this, or does know this, good, and goes for the sheep, right? Correct play here. And of course, my champion is faster than theirs. I locked them out. Now Carnage has nothing. He has to transform. And he doesn't want to be in this form, but this is the situation he found himself in. Kill the sheep, trigger the counterattack. Yeah. Left the match. Yeah. Okay, over here. What do we have? 6-star Galathier, 6-star Carnage, 6-star Marius. It's okay. Here I'm looking at it. I'm thinking I have one counter to bombs. If he bans the Marichka, and I leave the Commodus in, Commodus one-shots my team, right? I lose. So I have to ban the Commodus. Expecting him to ban the Marichka. He doesn't ban the Marichka. For whatever reason. Didn't expect that. Then I didn't have to ban the Commodus, but here we are. This is the situation we found ourselves in. Boost. Try to sleep. Didn't work. Just 8-1. He's saving the cleanse. Saving the cleanse. AoE. This is very, very scary, and I wouldn't recommend this move because Arman's is the highest turn meter and has polymorph. I think it's not 6-star, 5-star. You do this, you potentially turn yourself into sheep, but he did it. Go for a triple attack, and then triggered. I think there is a triangle gem that gives you 8% chance. If you kill someone, you take an extra turn. Trigger that 8% and took another turn. Unlucky. I go for the heal. The heal is strong enough, makes Maria 100%, right? Here I would for sure gone, because I don't have block debuffs anymore. I would have gone for the decrease block active, block passive one, but he gone for the other skill, which I don't get. This is important. She took out my bone plating, which is my third buff, and now I don't get to take an extra turn. That was huge to attack this here. But I have 2 allies dead, and you know how like Maria, like Maria is relatively new to me, so I'm still figuring out how Maria works. If Maria gains an extra shield at the end of her attack, and she had already had 2 buffs, and she gained a shield, that counts as 3 buffs, and that, if used on A3, gives her an extra turn. Here, I only have 2 buffs, but after the turn, I would have gained a bone plating, 2 bone plating sacks. I wanted to do this for science. I tried A3, and then get the bone plating, and I want to see if that counts as 3 buffs and will give me an extra turn or not. So I go for the A3, even though I'm enfeebled, it still does remove buff. I go for the A3, 2 bone plating, gives me 3 buffs. No extra turn. Today I learned, right? You gotta try it. If there's something you don't know, you gotta try it. And I wanted to see if that works. It didn't. So unfortunate there. I don't get an extra turn. And I think, yeah, block active, block passive, and then Galaxy even transforms. I think that's just game, right? We're just controlled, and then boom, boom. Yeah. So over there. Okay, we get a rematch. We got the what is this? Armand's Fabian, my least favorite, both 6-star, super fast, right? I think we talk about this. These are gonna be like 400 speed champions, maybe 750 accuracy. But the good players, they will pick Commodus and they'll pick 2 nukers. He only picked 1 nuker and a bunch of control, right? If we can neutralize the Commodus and ban his under nuker, there's nothing he could do if the bombs don't go off. So I picked triple counters to bombs. We'll see how this one goes. And he doesn't ban any of my counters to bombs, right? He doesn't think I am banning the Carnage, but I am. So now I've got even an increased resistance aura and 3 champions that counter bombs. So we go into this match feeling pretty confident now on the rematch. We took out his Carnage and just Commodus here. We've got 1, 2 Fero sets. We got a Resistance Crexia. So he's going to try to strip, resist, right? So yeah, really, really fast champions. It's hard to get so high accuracy as well. Like you won't see 400 speed disruptors also have like 900 plus accuracy. You just won't, right? They're mostly capped at around 700. So resist. These two don't have as much. And then here he's gonna do a turn meter steal, gets wanded, right? Galathier goes for the transform, try to strip, doesn't strip. Now, crucially, he did strip this block debuffs. I don't know if this player saw or not, but one of the buffs got stripped, and that's an important one on Noelle. I would have transformed here and nuked, but he didn't. He went for another strip, resisted. I think at this point he knows he lost, right? Because my Crexia can go, I can put block debuffs, and then I can for sure cleanse my Empress, and then he's got no damage, because if he can't bomb me, there's nothing else to do. And I think that's all for today's matches. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe share it with someone else, right? That are also struggling in Live Arena and want to build like a reviver, tanky supports, cleanser. Like this is the build to go if you want to counter bombs. Yeah, thanks for watching. Okay.